base. Something's off about this mountain. The readings are inconsistent and the terrain doesn't match any previous survey data. I've flown this route 100 times, but today something feels wrong. The mountain seems incorrect, like it's not quite where it should be. I'm getting unusual electromagnetic interference and the mountain itself feels alive, like it's watching. Wait, something's not right. Those people, they're not natural. Those people shouldn't. Base, do you copy? This isn't right. This isn't right at all.
And then, on these apex of infinite knowledge and power.
Dear believers, when men pursue evil, it is evil that they will find.
I saw that thing the guys have been talking about last night, stalking around in the tree line.
I'm looking in the eye.
As an eagle.
What are the GREYLOCK Tapes? Created by Rob Gavigan, this analog horror series centers around a mountain in Massachusetts called GREYLOCK, where deep within some strange and obscure things are happening. From government conspiracy to ancient traditions of thought-forward manifestations being weaponized, it's up to us to find out what's going on within the mountain. With the help of only 12 tapes, we will dive deep and piece the story together. Welcome to GREYLOCK. Now, before we get started, if you haven't seen GREYLOCK, I recommend you click off this video and go watch the tapes for yourselves. Once complete, come back here for a detailed explanation on each tape. Now let's begin. Our first tape has us in a building for a company called Semiodyne, where someone or something is extracting data but the credentials being input are not recognized, so they become overridden. While this is happening, we have a hidden message that tells us there has been a fatal error gaining access to the camera in the morgue. I have a feeling this will play a much larger part later on, but for now, let's keep this on the back of our minds and continue on to our next tape. This next tape involves us heading down a dark forest where we hear a preacher tell us that,
Dear believers, when men pursue evil, it is evil that they will find. Mark my words, there is no good that can come from the pursuit of darkness. Let me read to you, dear believer, the words of the late brilliant Charles Spurgeon, who discussed this at length in a sermon all the way back in 1864. He said, quote, our adversary, the devil, goes about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. We are taught by our Lord Jesus to pray, do not lead us into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. What we are taught to seek or shun in prayer, we should equally pursue or avoid in action. Very warily, therefore, should we endeavor to avoid temptation, seeking to walk in the path of obedience, so that we may never be guilty of tempting the devil to tempt us. We are not to enter the thicket in search of the lion. We may pay dear.
is the person in this tape our adversary searching for this supposed lion? We cut to the same person, now on foot, going through this forest where we see some bloodstains next to what I can only describe as a possible dog leg. While we see this, there's some jumbled words being said that translate to, While this is being said, a tape can be seen sticking out of a tree only to then cut to our preacher telling us,
When we will come face to face with the devil himself, whether we intended to or not, dear believer. We are drawn to him by our own hearts. In Matthew chapter 15, verse 19, it says, "For out of the heart come evil thoughts, murder, adultery, sexual immorality, theft, false witness, slander." There is a shadow nested deep, deep within our hearts, within our minds, in a place most people don't even know exists within themselves. The devil is going to call to those depths, dear believer. And though you may...
At this point, the car stopped and we're expected to see something out of one of these headlight flashes, but instead...
and accept what it is that he bestows upon you.
We're now speeding through these trails after some terrifying banging is heard on the back of the car, with the preacher telling us that the devil is still with you. Once he's looked into your eyes, a piece of you will tend to him, and he will use you like a thread to unravel you bit by bit. The devil, dear believer, has a plan for you. Now, this all may seem like nonsense at the moment, but I promise this plays a crucial role for the rest of the story. Let's move on to our next tape because I have a feeling we will get much needed information. For the sole use of Alexander Michael Marsh, let's remember him.
Greetings, and welcome to the Preconditional Protocols and Orientation video system provided by Unit 13 as part of the United States Army and Project Stargate,
created in partnership with Semiodyne USA.
Now this is what I'm talking about. Based off of real government experiments, the Stargate project was a secret US Army establishment in 1977 at Fort Meade, Maryland, by the DIA and SRI International to investigate the potential for psychic phenomena in military and domestic intelligence applications. Involving remote viewing, it focused on the ability to psychically see events, sights, or information from a great distance. A set of protocols were created to make the research of clairvoyance and out-of-body experiences more scientific and to minimize as much session noise and inaccuracy as possible. The unit was small scale, made up of about 15 to 20 individuals, and was run out of an old wooden barracks. Though the project was overseen until 1987, and come 1995, the project ended after a CIA report concluded that it was never useful in any intelligence operation. Now, back to the tape. In this tape, we are the experimental subject, and we get to learn what Semiodyne does as a part of Unit 13 that studies parapsychology, being thought forms or tulpa, with Project Stargate connected to the US government. But what is a thought form? Well, I'll let the tape answer for you.
promising area of parapsychology, thought forms. If you're unfamiliar with what thought forms are, that's okay. You're in the majority. So, what are thought forms? Through the ages, occultists and spiritualists, Tibetan monks to theosophists, have exercised the creation of what is sometimes referred to as a tulpa, otherwise known as a thought form. A thought form is the manifestation of a person's will, emotion, or other deeply psychologically energized state into a semi-physical form, existing as not only an extension of the person, but as its own independent and sentient entity. Thought forms are also able to be witnessed and experienced by third parties, and are not limited solely to the person who developed them. Thought forms have been formed to serve as familiars, companions, or even friends to those who conjure them. According to key literature, thought forms can be intentionally formed by a single person or multiple people, though they can be unintentionally formed as well. But they are always manifested through the deep will and focus of a person in a considerably heightened state of connectivity with their own consciousness. Traditional thought forms can vary widely in their level of influence in the real world. While they usually take physical formations eventually, their earliest stages are more apparitional in nature, with brief manifestations, though most often remaining as an unseen essence, much like a phantom or a ghost. At this phase, thought forms and ghosts are very similar in a number of ways. Individuals can make contact with them through communication devices, such as a Ouija board or through EVP sessions, while the thought form may respond through moving objects, manipulating electronics, or even speaking words and short phrases. Due to their striking similarities, a current theory established by Unit 13 suggests that what we know as ghosts may not be as common as we once believed. Rather than a deceased person's energy being left behind after death, it's possible, and indeed likely, that these paranormal entities are actually thought forms that are unintentionally created by those individuals that the deceased has left behind, who spend inordinate amounts of time in deeply emotional states, where their mental capacity is largely occupied by a powerful focus on the departed individual. In other words, as these are the ideal conditions from which thought forms are born, people may very well create their own ghosts and hauntings. However, as more time and energy is invested into the development of the thought form, they begin to harness more influence on their environment, until eventually exhibiting a semi-permanent physical appearance, and, in due course, becoming as tangible as a living creature. This is where Unit 13's interest comes in. We've sought to answer a very important question. Can thought forms be created in a manner that would benefit American society and help keep American citizens safe? Unfortunately, the practice of intentionally creating a thought form by traditional methods would undoubtedly take years and years of devout mental training. So, Project Stargate has enlisted a world-renowned authority in thought forms, a man named Dr. Bernard Hayes.
Dr. Bernard Hayes, huh?
To oversee a number of the operations related to Unit 13's work. His participation has been invaluable and has brought fruitful results to the project. Due to Unit 13 and Semiodyne USA's combined efforts, bringing together some of the most prestigious minds in the world, specializing in the sciences of the human consciousness, with cutting-edge technology and engineering methods, we've created a groundbreaking, proprietary invention. Introducing the Thought Form Manifestor. The Thought Form Manifestor is able to create truly independent and self-sustaining thought form entities from the minds of select, willing participants. Being that they come from the deepest recesses of the human mind, thought forms can appear in virtually any configuration. They could look like a person, an object, an animal, or even something as abstract as the physical representation of an emotion. That being said, it's recommended to brace yourself before touring the thought form chambers, as thought forms can also take on appearances that could be considered disturbing, like a creature one might see in a childhood nightmare. There's no reason to be afraid. All thought forms are docile by nature, and while they may look or behave in a frightening manner, and though they are capable of making physical contact, they pose no threat to humans. There are some very rare potential side effects that may result from your session. These side effects include increased tiredness, loss of balance, dizziness, insomnia, vomiting, episodes of temporary amnesia, and mild hallucinations. These side effects, if present, will clear up within 72 hours of your session, and are simply signs of your brain recalibrating to the real world. It is recommended you refrain from driving or operating heavy machinery for 72 hours after your session, even if you experience no side effects. None of these side effects should cause you any harm or overt stress, and former testing candidates who have experienced these side effects reported that they were very mild and merely a transient inconvenience. With all that out of the way, we are looking forward to your participation with Unit 13.
Government projects, thought forms, machinery to create them at will, potential side effects, and a doctor going great lengths to make this a reality. From what we know so far, the government is using these ancient traditions of Tulpa to help the American society, with a man named Dr. Bernard leading the experiments. Throughout the tape near the end, it seems like something was tampering with the video when positive outlooks on the project were present, giving me the thought that nothing here is as it seems. Oh yeah, I think we now know what made those noises back in tape 2 now. Things are starting to take shape, so let's move on to our next tape and see what's in store for us. Our next tape involves someone investigating a house that seems to possibly have a thought form inside. Could this be the same person from the second tape? We see someone climb through a window and proceed up the stairs to a door. Why? Yeah, I'd be leaving too if I heard that.
I'd like to thank my producer, my writers, my director, my friends, and you, the ordinary people who made me what I am today.
Max Headroom premieres after moonlighting tomorrow.
Make it love me.
The tape transitions to a Max Headroom segment that is discontinued by an emergency broadcast announcement for northern Berkshire County, Massachusetts. We learn that there has been a home invasion at 3:34 a.m. who targeted 49 residents since 11:15 p.m. last night, spanning across the towns of North Adams, Cheshire, Savoy, and Windsor. We're told to wake everyone in our homes and close all curtains and blinds to then gather into a secure area and arm ourselves with a blunt object or firearm if available. We're told not to search for or engage any suspects due to them being considered extremely dangerous and armed. Who are these home invaders?
This is for your safety. Law enforcement will be armed and patrolling your area. Interfering with this investigation could result in lethal force being inadvertently.
Who is this person entering into people's homes? Could they be investigating something? Apart from this, take a look at these. Could these be the home invaders causing chaos throughout Berkshire County? For now, we're not quite sure, so let's continue to investigate through our next tape. Our next tape involves a mother getting an ultrasound of her baby, but something isn't right.
Well, hello again, Tiffany.
Oh, hi Wanda. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. No dad this time?
No, unfortunately, he couldn't get off work today. So I'm gonna have to call him on a payphone to let him know all the details as soon as we're done.
He's excited to be a dad, huh?
Oh, yes, he certainly is. We both can't wait to be parents.
Aw, and you said you've been together since high school, right?
Yep.
That's so sweet. And have you decided on a name for your baby boy yet?
Yep, we're going with Max.
Ooh, Max, huh? That's a nice, strong name.
That's why my fiance wanted it so bad. He says it'll help make him strong right off the bat.
That's a pretty good way of thinking about it. So let's see how strong little Max is so you can hurry up and make that call.
Yes, please. He's been moving around like crazy the past couple weeks. So I think he's really strong. Strong enough to kick so hard I almost throw up sometimes, too.
Aw, what a wild boy. Activity is good.
Yep.
Okay, hopefully this isn't too cold.
No, it's okay.
There he is. He's definitely a growing boy, that's for sure. And you're both looking really good.
Oh, I love hearing that.
Let's get some measurements to see exactly how much he's grown. before. Maybe something to do with the power.
Oh, okay.
This is a bit strange.
What? What's strange?
Nothing to worry about or anything. Just having some trouble finding the baby all of a sudden.
Maybe the machine messed up?
Possibly. But I can still see everything else. It's just not picking up the baby for some reason.
Has this ever happened before?
Well, sometimes babies can move into certain positions that are hard to see.
But you can't see my baby at all?
I'm looking. Don't worry, he's definitely here. You know what? Why don't we just see if we can borrow another machine, okay? There has to be something wrong with this one. I'll be right back.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
No.
This can't be happening. The baby doesn't know why? That makes no sense. I know.
Is it happening? What happened?
Right now.
Well, that was tragic to watch, to say the least. But did you see the hidden newspaper article within the transition of the baby's disappearance? I've done my best to transcribe what it says. Bizarre events leave Berkshire's residents in terror, authorities mute. Days after the incident, unexpected events left an unknown number of people dead and many terrified. Authorities are suffering any kind of repercussion despite the fact that the Massachusetts State Police engaged the emergency broadcast system at night. While it's been unknown exactly what occurred, a number of arrests have been made, with some witnesses claiming that the attacks were by people they never thought capable of such atrocities. Now, I was unable to decipher the rest of the text unfortunately, but from this, we can see that the attacks are abnormal due to witnesses claiming that they were from people not capable of committing such acts. Who exactly are these invaders, and could they somehow be tied to thought form manifestations? Furthermore, we have another newspaper article that tells us about Tiffany and who she was, giving us some interesting information that answers a lot of questions we have. The article reads, Tiffany Marie Elaine Crisaldi, elementary school teacher of Rose Pine Drive, 29, Adams, died unexpectedly Monday morning. She had suffered tremendously after the sudden loss of her unborn son, Maxwell Marsh, on March 31st and was unable to live with the heartache any longer. Born in Windsor, Massachusetts on May 20th, 1958, she was the only child of Harrison and Kathleen Crisaldi. She attended school in Massachusetts and graduated in 1976 from Grand Hill Regional High School among the top of her class. She went on to graduate from North Adams State College in 1978 with a degree in early childhood education, and during her freshman year of high school, she began dating Alexander Marsh, the man who would become her It seems now we have a timeline of the events that are happening, ranging from the 70s onward, and knowing that she is the wife of Alexander Michael Marsh, who was the sole candidate for tape TF1, leads me to believe that Tiffany never had a baby to begin with, resulting in a false pregnancy. Since thought forms can be manifested, I believe that Tiffany wanted a baby so badly she created one through this method, realizing it or not, and once a critical examination of the baby's existence took place, it vanished, forcing Tiffany to face reality. With the side effects from tape 3 that noted induced vomiting as she said she had been having from the baby kicking, I just can't shake the thought. We're starting to unravel answers, and we need to figure out who or what these thought forms are and where they are coming from. There's so many tapes to look at, so let's move on and see how much deeper this really goes. In this tape, we have an interesting description that reads, There came a red flash as it pitched from heaven, corruption wrought truth 0707. These associate with angel numbers that are interpreted as a sign from guardian angels that tell us we are guided, supported, and protected. We also get some information on Dr. Bernard from the previous tapes. This is where things get creepy.
Humanity has stood tirelessly past through a great many trials of intellectual fortitude to achieve but one singular goal. A goal that countless men have withered away and dying in pursuit of, leaving their towers of work behind to be climbed by coming generations. Higher and higher they ascend, so that we will at last reach the one called God. And there, on his apex of infinite knowledge and power, we will approach and look him in the eye. As an equal.
Is Dr. Bernard trying to play God through human thought and behavior? We transitioned to Semiodyne USA and we're told that the project director is Frank Porter and someone named Paul Morelli associated with Morelli Construction and Mining Co. is working on a construction project of an obscure facility.
Your credentials. Credential requirement bypassed by system administrator. Greetings, unknown user ID. Welcome to Semiodyne USA's virtual message assistant for user. Project Director, Frank Porter. Establishing custom telephone message settings. Sender, Paul Morelli, of the Morelli Construction and Mining Company. Dates of receipt ranging from March 24th, 1987, to March 30th, 1987. Beginning playback of your messages. Message 1. March 24th, 11:14 a.m.
Hey Frank, it's Paul Morelli. We ran into somewhat of an issue today. We came across these tunnels inside the mountain, pretty deep in, but well, this is going to sound a little crazy, but he told me to call if anything strange came up, and I figured this qualifies. People have been here before. Some obviously man-made shit in there, like carvings and stone. This shit looks ancient, like real old. I took a crew in to look through it, but since part of the tunnels caved in some time ago, we're going to just have to bust through it regardless. But I still wanted to make you aware of it. Anyways, I'll keep you in the loop. Thanks.
Message 2. March 25th, 7:38 a.m.
Hey Frank, it's Paul. Just calling to tell you the day might be a bit slower than usual. Unfortunately, a number of the crew are sick as dogs. Not really sure what kind of stomach bugs going around or what, but we'll do our best to pick up the slack. I'm calling in some guys who have the day off, so hopefully things will get a little closer to normal, you know. That being said, I don't know how the hell this happened, but the section of the tunnel here caved in is clear. The tunnel's been wired up with a few lights, too. Wanted to see if maybe you sent someone in while we were off shift. Night crew said you didn't, but, I didn't see anybody else either, so... But a few of the guys said they'd seen something running around in the woods surrounding the site. I figured it's probably a deer or whatever, but seeing all the ruckus we're making out here, But they all insisted it was something else. Something like a real tall man. Might just be some environmentalist moron trying to cause some shit, but, he ain't done nothing, so I told him to keep focused on the project. For safety's sake, we're going to avoid the tunnel until I hear back from you. All right, bye now.
Message 3. March 25th, 4:56 p.m.
Hey Frank, it's Paul again. The guy you sent out to take photos just left, but he seemed totally fine when he got here, but we practically had to carry him back to his car when he was done. I don't know if he caught whatever's going around, but figured you should know. Also, we found some really old shit down there, Frank. Now, I ain't no historian, but we got a guy on the crew who used to do archaeology work or whatever, and I don't know. But I guess there's some old artifacts down there, like weapons and trinkets and whatever. I'll have him draft up a report for you and send it your way, because I feel like he'd be interested, and he can explain all this shit better than I could anyways. His name's Arnold Rivers. That's about it. All right. Bye.
Message 4. March 26th, 1:03 p.m.
Frank, something ain't right here. Crew crew's getting worse, more sick. I feel okay so far, but I don't know how long that's gonna last. I saw that thing the guys have been talking about last night, stalking around in the tree line. I swear it had a face. Anyways, just call me back as soon as you can, Frank.
Message 5. March 27th, 12:10 p.m.
All our food is rotten, totally spoiled and covered in maggots. It was perfectly fine and stored. There wasn't any problems with the generator, even if we lost power. I mean, it's the end of March. All our food looks like it's been left out in the heat for weeks. No idea what's going on. Please call me back.
Message 6. March 27th, 4:02 p.m.
It's Paul. We saw it again. Something out here with us. It's in the woods. And it's watching us, goddammit. It ain't no animal either. Who are you guys gonna put up those fancy hunting cameras and see if we can catch anything? Maybe locals fucking with us? I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, anyways, I just...
Message 7. Date and time unavailable. Message corrected. Message 8. March 29th, 10:13 p.m.
Frank, it's Paul. Holy shit, well, a lot of the crew here is sick now, and they're sort of like unresponsive. We tried emergency contacts for them, but they just keep ringing. The phones, they just kept ringing and ringing and ringing. Nobody picked up from any number we tried. Nobody picked up. No answer machines either. Made a call to the hospital, and same thing. Just ringing. Just tried 911, still nothing. I figured the phones were fucked up, but the machine actually picked up. I think I caught whatever's going around. My skin, it feels tight. A lot of pressure behind my eyes. My teeth feel like they're humming, vibrating. You know what? This all started when we came across that tunnel. I feel like I need to figure out what's down there. I think whatever's down there could help my crew. But most of all, I feel like something really bad's gonna happen if I don't go down. So I'm going down tonight.
Message 9. March 30th, time unavailable. This is the end of your messages.
What starts out as a routine construction project soon develops into a pure nightmare of psychological disintegration. Something is inside the mountain, and I feel Dr. Bernard is after some kind of transcendent goal to push the boundaries of human interpretation by using thought for manifestation. Furthermore, why was Frank not answering any of Paul's calls? This has me thinking he sent them to the mountain knowing exactly what was in the tunnels as some sort of experiment for remote observation and sacrifice to the mountain instead of it being himself. We have a new character as well, being Arnold Rivers, that had to be carried out by the crew after they investigated the tunnels. More information is needed because this is all starting to come together and we need to find out who the home invaders are exactly. Let's continue on to our next tape. There has to be an answer.
Authorities continue to investigate the recent crime wave that swept across northern Berkshire County, left many of its residents in a state of anxiety and panic. It was 2 weeks ago when the emergency broadcast system was engaged to warn residents to secure their homes due to the activity of a group of individuals who had been targeting and breaking into people's homes. Authorities have since confirmed that the attacks were, in fact, part of an organized criminal effort and have been attributed to a local anti-American militia group operating out of western Massachusetts called... Police have made numerous arrests in connection to militia, and officials continue to release statements to assure the public that they are safe once again.
We've received a lot of credible information over the past couple of weeks, and the investigation is still ongoing. We'll get closer and closer by the day.
Thankfully, due to the continued efforts of law enforcement, life has been able to return back to normal. Back to normal. Back to normal. To normal. To normal. To normal. Back to normal for residents of Berkshire County.
In this tape we have two hidden articles. One of them is a photo of Tiffany and Alexander that reads, "Engaged couple, Alex Marsh, 28, and Tiffany Crisaldi, 26, sit together as they discuss the baffling loss of their unborn son." Right after this, we have an article that reads, "These events are only the tip of the iceberg," says Jim Milgren, a former police officer who now works as a private investigator and hosts a radio show centered around government transparency and accountability. There are horrifying reports of people, healthy grown adults becoming deformed, growing extra limbs, teeth growing out of their scalp, people developing severe mental conditions or even sickness. Doctors have never seen anything like it. Let's take a step back and digest all of this. Firstly, everything Don has told us is a lie. We can see this from the end of the tape where Don has definitely been affected in some way. Things are far from normal, and at this point I believe the home invaders are the Morelli construction crew, but we still need more information about their whereabouts. I say this because the Max Headroom segment aired in November of 1987, and the construction crew's incident happened in March. This is months of them being able to run loose, so wouldn't they be the ones invading people's homes? Apart from this, we have confirmation that Tiffany and Alexander did in fact lose their unborn son, but I'm wondering if this image is correlated to their son, Maxwell Marsh, because why else would this be shown to us? Now with all of this, we do have a confirmed report that Jim Milgren, being a former police officer, was the investigator in tapes 2 and 4. It seems he has been taking things into his own hands. This is key information, but we still have questions that need answering, such as the whereabouts of Arnold Rivers and what happened to him, along with confirming if the home invaders are in fact the Morelli construction crew. Let's move on to tape 8 and see what other information we can get, because I feel like we're getting closer and closer. This next tape continues off from tape 4 that had been experiencing technical difficulties about the broadcast interruption. The executive and 2 producers of the show are trying to make sure everything goes smoothly due to fear some very powerful people. Let's listen and see what they have to say.
Well, that broadcast went completely tits up, didn't it?
I've been getting chewed out by our asshole CIA liaison for the past 2 hours. What the fuck happened?
We're looking into it, sir, but we experienced no issues with the broadcast on our end, so our engineers believe that the signal was hijacked before even reaching the transmitter, but once we started receiving phone calls from viewers, we switched to a backup transmitter.
But by then, the hijacker had already said everything they wanted to say, hadn't they?
Yes, sir.
What a complete fuck up. They made us look like a fucking joke. And during our most popular show. Speaking of which, Don, where the fuck is he? I cannot get hold of him, and he needs to get in here and read a statement to help clean up this fucking mess.
Well, we've been trying to reach him. We've called him multiple times. We've tried his pager. We've asked around to see if anyone's heard from him, but nothing. Right now we've got Gerald standing in for him tonight, if not miss a show.
You've been to his house?
Well, no. I just thought that maybe he'd be upset if I did that. So...
Get in your fucking car and go to his fucking house! I don't care if you kick down his front door and drag him here by his ear. You bring him into the studio. Do you understand?
Yes, Mr. Rosenbaum. Of course, I'll do that right now.
There's some real powerful people depending on us right now. They need us to manage the response to these events, to let the public know what's going on, and the last thing we need is it going wider than it already fucking has. So do what you need to do, or I'm going to replace you with some producers who actually know how to produce a fucking show!
Sorry, the file you are trying to access has been destroyed and can no longer be executed or retrieved. Please choose another file. Sorry, it said I'll take your file if you're trying to destroy or trying. Sorry, Warning, anomalous file detected. This file should not exist. Are you sure you wish to proceed?
We cut to a segment from the archaeologist Arnold Rivers, who was hired by Frank Porter, who was the project lead for the Morelli construction crew.
My name is Arnold Eugene Rivers. The date is April 8th, 1987, about 9:15 at night. I was involved in the Morelli construction project at Mount GREYLOCK. I was hired due to my background in anthropology and archaeology. I've worked to excavate a number of different historical sites. Paul Morelli took me on after securing a government contract for the GREYLOCK project. I'm recording this because I believe my life is in danger, and I likely don't have a lot of time left, so I need to leave some kind of record of my findings. On March 24th, our crew came across tunnels in the mountain that held a multitude of ancient markings and artifacts. On March 25th, Paul cleared the interior of the mountain and asked me, accompanied by a small crew, to look through the tunnels and record notes on what I was able to recognize. I was then to report to one of the project directors, named Frank Porter, to offer my perspective on our findings. I kept this to myself at the time, but what we discovered in that mountain was not normal. Not only did I see the impact it was having on the crew, but certain aspects of my findings did not make any sense. Many of the artifacts were pre-colonial. Some were from Native American tribes, but there were other artifacts, some Mesoamerican, and others were shockingly Clovis in nature. Finding Clovis artifacts here means that people have been coming to Mount GREYLOCK since at least 11,000 BCE, but that's not all, no. There are artifacts I found that could potentially be from even earlier, Paleo-American cultures that we have yet to even begin studying. Then, there were artifacts and writings left by the cultures that were pre-Columbian in nature. Transoceanic contacts prior to Columbus reaching the Americas has always been largely a theory, but the artifacts in this mountain, they prove it. Ancient Chinese, Arabic, Indian, Roman, Spanish, Viking, even ancient Greek and Egyptian are findings that they alone would change world history as we know it today. I'll admit, the anthropologist in me was thrilled. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I figured it had to be a hoax, but I'm confident that it's all authentic. But my excitement was soon replaced with a looming fear and anxiety. How could such a place be so important to so many cultures for so long? There must be something immense here. Whatever it was, well, that's why I left the project. The tunnels all connected to a series of chambers deep into the interior of the mountain. That's where a majority of the relics were found. There were old baskets of herbs and spices, pottery, weapons and armor, talismans, other religious items, countless other things, but all of it was there purposely, as offerings.
Offerings, huh? Could this be some type of cult?
It was billions of years ago, when our planet was still mostly fire and rock, that a Mars-sized planet that had been drifting through our solar system collided directly with the Earth. The impact was so powerful and violent that the rogue planet was blown into countless pieces of debris. This debris collected to form our moon. Many of the pieces of the unknown planet remain inside the Earth to this day.
Did the pieces of this unknown planet give the mountain its sentient power that was soon to be found and worshipped throughout human history? Let's keep watching.
Police Department, Dispatcher Carey speaking.
Yes, I'm calling to report a break-in at my co-worker's house.
What is your name, sir?
My name is Liam Hollander.
Okay, Liam, you said this was your coworker's house. What is your coworker's address?
It's Parker Hill Road in Adams, number 491.
491 Parker Hill Road, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me, is anybody hurt? Liam, are you still with me?
Yes, sorry.
Is anybody hurt?
Yes.
Well, Don's dead.
Then I witnessed many altars constructed out of the mountain stone, along with evidence of mass animal and human sacrifice. And the carvings in the walls of these sacrificial chambers, I couldn't recognize a single familiar symbol, and it made me sick to even look at them. Let me be clear, I am not, nor have I ever been, a religious man. But there's something in that mountain. Something people of countless cultures over the history of our planet have been worshipping, but I don't know why. But I could feel it. Whatever's down there, I could feel it. It was like being trapped in a fever dream. I swear I could hear a voice, and even felt compelled to go further, to speak to whatever's down there. I don't know. I haven't been right since. I keep hearing this droning in my head, ceaseless, all day and night. I can't sleep, just droning, always droning. But that doesn't matter right now. I informed Mr. Porter in my report that the archaeological findings in the mountain are of monumental historical importance, and that there is certainly more to be discovered, and I recommended discontinuing construction there. But it's not as though I have any authority over this project. I fully expected to be ignored. Mr. Porter called me on the evening of March 28th, and we spoke on the phone briefly. It was as I thought. He disregarded my concerns. I informed him that I wasn't going to return to the site. He insisted I did, said I was a valuable asset to the project, even offered me a substantial raise, and wanted me to lead a specifically organized team that would clear the tunnels of artifacts before excavation would continue. I, quote-unquote, could be responsible for the biggest historical finding of all time, he said. I refused again. I won't put a price on my sanity or my health, especially after seeing what was happening to the crew.
Now loading. Morale GREYLOCK event, Group C, Survivor data. Profile for patient B3590. Rockford, Thomas. Malformations. Notes. Communicative. Patient prone to spontaneous violent outbursts. Treatment of heavy sedation recommended. Only communicate while patient is restrained or via intercom. Now loading. Profile for patient. B9231. Washington, Samuel. Malformations. Notes. Communicative. Patient suffers from constant state of severe paranoia and delusions, resulting in unpredictable violent outbursts. Standard treatment ineffective. High-dose xylazine is recommended. Only communicate while patient is restrained or via intercom. Now loading. Profile for patient. B6670. Herrera, Ramon. Malformations. Notes. Uncommunicative. Patient appears to be in catatonic state. Warning, patient may sit up very suddenly, without provocation, to projectile vomit at any staff in area. Patient's vomit is extremely corrosive and emits nerve gas. All treatments ineffective. Studies must be conducted with full anti-corrosive gear and air purifying respirator equipped on all staff involved. Now loading. Profile for patient. B8816. Fleming, Charles. Malformations. Notes. Uncommunicative. Warning, patient will attack on sight. Do not interact. Immunity to pain. Patient exhibits cannibalistic tendencies. All treatments ineffective. Immediate euthanasia recommended. Now loading. Profile for patient. B4041. Oakhurst, Scott. Malformations. Notes. Communicative. Communicate with caution. Warning, patient actively pretends to be benevolent and friendly. Strong homicidal and cannibalistic tendencies. Killed and partially consumed 6 staff members on April 6, 87. Patient laughed hysterically during the attack. All treatments ineffective. Immediate euthanasia or permanent restraint for further study recommended. Now loading. Profile for patient. B7992. Kowalski, Edward. Malformations. Notes. Communicative. Hazardous. Warning, patient possesses inhuman power of suggestion and influence over others. Do not interact. All treatments ineffective. Immediate euthanasia recommended. Now loading. Profile for patient. B1584. Rafferty, John. Malformations. Notes. Uncommunicative. Hazardous. Patient appears to be deceased. No vital signs. Patient's body not decomposing. Warning, staff have become ill after even brief time spent in patient's room. Illness disregards protective suiting. Immediate quarantine required for all victims. Mortality rate post-exposure currently 92%. Survivors subject to rapid physical and mental malformations. All treatments ineffective. Immediate remote euthanasia recommended.
I consider myself incredibly lucky to not be in that condition right now. Oddly, he quickly accepted my second refusal, wished me luck in my future endeavors, but before I could say anything else, he'd hung up. But it seemed I'd made the right choice. I heard something awful happened up at Mount Greylock, and then simultaneously, there were all of these things that have been happening around the mountain. The home invasions, the dead bodies that fell from the sky over Cheshire, the pregnancy phenomena, so many other unexplainable things. They all must be related, and I've been trying to figure out how. I've connected with a local investigator who's been trying to get to the bottom of this. I've shared with him everything I have, though I feel that I've been being watched. I feel a looming threat that I can't really explain. Would the government really send someone to kill me over this? I feel like I'm paranoid, like I've lost some of my mind. But I came home from the grocery store the other day, and my front door was unlocked, and I know I had locked it before I left. I scanned my entire house for traces of anything, but found nothing out of the ordinary. I even checked and replaced all of the light bulbs. Oh, God. Saying it out loud like this, it makes me realize how crazy I sound. I've always been a rational man. There's a logical explanation behind everything. thought that I put all of this into a recording. Perhaps that was what I needed to snap me out of this. Honestly, I feel much better just talking about it. This can't be. Oh my God, that's a basement door. No. Camcorder. Oh, where's the damn camcorder? Here it is. Thank God.
They're here. I'm inside my bedroom closet. I'm going to keep the tape recorder running, and I'm hiding in here with my files. If something happens to me, and you find any tapes or files somehow, please bring it to the investigator, Jim Malcolm of North Adams. That goes for this video footage as well.
Come on out, it's the police.
Well, that's the end of Arnold, it seems, which is unfortunate because he was one of my favorites. Now, with all of this, I feel Frank knows everything and offers it to Arnold so he potentially dies on the mountain, letting him do all the dirty work. We saw Arnold make the right call to decline the offer, but his fate was unfortunately already chosen. Furthermore, it seems he himself was getting sick as well and portraying the same effects of Paul, who said he needed to go deeper into the mountain to figure it all out. I also noticed while the thought form was inside his home, it was mimicking all of the voices of the last things its victims potentially said, as if it were trying to find the right thing to say by adapting to its environment. This leads me to believe this was created by the thought form manifester and was sent out to kill Arnold by possibly Frank, but I'm also thinking the mountain itself can control these at its own will as well. With all of this, I do think the home invaders are the Morelli construction crew, along with the thought form that's created by the manifester itself. This was disturbing, but let's move on to our next tape to possibly get some information on how this all came to be. This next tape is the earliest we have within the story's timeline, being 1963.
Accessing GBS properties, 101, WRAV, FM, radio station. Date of broadcast, December 13th, 1963. Segment, announcement of the National Access Initiative. Beginning playback.
In one of his first acts after his historic succession, President Lyndon B. Johnson's administration has announced an upcoming program that will revolutionize communication and bring critical home electronics into every American household. The National Access Initiative, as it's been named, is a program designed to ensure that all citizens have equal access to vital communication tools and ways to stay informed, fostering connectivity, security, and unity across the nation. Under this groundbreaking initiative, eligible American households will receive packages containing a myriad of electronics so that citizens may stay properly engaged with one another and remain knowledgeable regarding important events. electronics such as telephones, televisions, and radios. These packages will also include items aimed at keeping families safe, with devices such as smoke alarms, burglar alarms, and even flashlights. These things will empower individuals to not only stay involved in their communities, but to remain prepared for any emergency as well. President Johnson himself was quoted as saying that in this era of progress and innovation, it is crucial for every American to have the tools necessary as they navigate the challenges of modern life in an era of ever-increasing technological dependence. These electronics packages are being made available to American households through a partnership with world-renowned technology manufacturer Semiodyne USA.
Something isn't right here. Is this technology being used to spy on citizens?
The technology giant's expertise in creating cutting-edge, revolutionary technologies over the past decades has made them a household name, and their gracious contribution to this initiative ensures that the devices provided will be of the highest quality. Further enhancing the experience and benefits for American citizens. When asked for a quote during a press conference earlier this week, President of Semiodyne USA, Percival C. Rothwell, had a lot to say.
The National Access Initiative represents a milestone in our nation's journey towards progress and inclusivity. It's a reflection of the American government and Semiodyne USA's unwavering commitment to empowering every American citizen, regardless of age, location, or income, with the tools and resources needed to thrive in the electronic age.
Through the miracle of modern communication, the words we speak, the actions we take, will be read, heard, and seen on the instant, and judged in every city and village in America. They are the silent delegates. We cannot see them or hear them, but they are present.
32% of American households still don't have a television in the house. This means they are less informed and are unable to respond to emergencies as quickly or efficiently. A much greater percentage of households have no smoke alarms to alert them in the event of a fire. Perhaps most shocking of all, 29% of Americans don't even have a telephone in their home, meaning they're unable to call for aid or even just contact friends or family members. They are left disconnected. For decades, people of all kinds have wondered what it is we're working on at any given time inside Semiodyne. And for decades, we've kept it all quite secretive. But I'll let you in on a little something.
Out here. Kennedy didn't go for it. But you assured me he was amenable. Was that just more of your bullshit? No? He's gonna fucking expose our whole plan for the NII program. The meeting couldn't have gone worse. If that fucking Nick thinks he's gonna expose Semiodyne, he's got another thing coming. But we're not the only ones he's pissed off lately. After rejecting Operation Northwoods, and then that executive order involving the Federal Reserve, there are a lot of snakes in the grass. And it's about time that Kennedy got bit.
At Semiodyne USA, we're building the future. And as the great-great-grandson of our company's founder and its current president, I'll tell you one irrefutable fact, the most important one. All roads lead to connectivity. Without connectivity, we have no future. The more isolated individuals are from one another, the weaker they are, the more easily defeated they are, and the less likely they are to see the value of their own lives.
Hey, hon, have you seen the car keys?
Humanity has stood many times at the precipice of extinction. And the only reason we are still here today is because we stood there together. Semiodyne USA is here with you every step of the way.
It seems Semiodyne partnered with the US government to put these devices in people's homes to spy on them.
We make a promise to continue to support you into the future as well. Whether it's from a lack of infrastructure or a lack of income, no one should be restricted access to potentially life-saving and life-enhancing technology. And this is only the beginning. We have so much more planned so that Americans can all truly be equal in our society. Security, connectivity, accessibility. It is our belief that it is these three factors that make America the best country in the world.
I have a feeling President Rothwell has cult ties to the mountain that worship it.
Mr. Rothwell also stated that these monumental benefits won't only be made available to American households, but to police and fire departments, schools, and to small businesses as well. The Johnson administration has stated that while they are going to begin launching this landmark program right away, it will first be made available only in select areas as construction crews from coast to coast prepare to establish important infrastructure that will support the National Access Initiative program.
Hello? Hello? Is somebody there? Where are my glasses?
Katie.
Where are you?
I'm over here, Katie.
Oh, there you are. Who are you?
I'm your imaginary friend.
My imaginary friend? But I didn't imagine you.
You must have, because here I am. You probably just don't remember.
Are you from that weird doctor's office place that I had to go to?
I think you might be right, Katie.
I can't find my glasses, so I can't really see you.
Oh, they're over here.
How'd you get there?
I noticed they were a little dirty, so I wanted to clean
Where are they? I still can't really see because my eyes are so bad.
You reach out and I'll put them into your hand. Okay?
Okay.
Closer. Just a little bit closer.
The Johnson administration went on to say that their current projections for a nationwide release are for some time between mid-1966 and early 1967. Citizens will be mailed informational packets regarding the National Access Initiative, including information on how to apply as the program becomes available in their area.
Hello, you've reached Alex Marsh and Tiffany Crisaldi. We're not able to get to the phone, so please leave a message after the tone and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
For decades, the government and Semiodyne have been working together. With JFK opposing the program, he was disposed of quickly so Semiodyne and Rothwell could implement the NAI program at any cost, with President Johnson later approving it. From this, the program and Project Stargate are connected with the sole purpose to reach God as an equal through mass surveillance on citizens and direct thought form creation. As various cultures visit the mountain, an influence on humans is present, as we saw what it did to the construction crew. Furthermore, Semiodyne and the government seem to have cult ties to the mountain and have been worshipping it for decades, as we saw through the disturbing picture. Now, apart from this, we have the introduction of Katie, who mentions going to a strange doctor's office, to which I assume is a part of Unit 13's experiments, though unfortunately she doesn't last long due to a thought form invading her home, showcasing one of these attacks in real time. We're also given the voicemail recording of Tiffany and Alexander that tells me there must be information we're missing on them. Let's move on and see what more we can learn about them. In this next tape, we see our investigator Jim Melgren find a rat near a tree, giving us a hint at more evidence to come.
Hey, babe. I'm just checking in. Could you please give me a call as soon as you can? Don't worry about work either, please. You're way more important, okay? Okay. I love you.
After this, we cut to Alex worried, talking to a detective about the sudden disappearance of Tiffany.
After we lost the baby, I stayed home for almost a month. We both took it hard, but I was just really worried about Tiffany. She seemed to only be getting worse with time. She spent a lot of time by herself. When it came time for me to return to work, we decided I would call home every day during my lunch break, just so we could talk and check in on each other. She always picked up the phone whenever I called. She knew it would worry me sick if she didn't pick up the phone. But this time, on that day, she didn't pick up. Tiffany, babe, still haven't heard from you. Hope everything's okay. You're probably just busy doing something, but we've been talking every day since I've been back to work, so, you know, just, I'm getting a bit worried, so please call me back, okay? Love you.
A short glimpse of a ritual circle is shown that possibly connects to why she is nowhere to be found.
Okay, I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm gonna head home. I'm sorry, I'm kind of freaking out. I'll be there soon. I love you.
We get some more information about Tiffany through a medical examination stating some disturbing findings.
Dr. Heinrich Albrecht, Medical Examiner, Westfield. May 19th, 1987, 3:23 p.m. Intake report for Tiffany Elaine Marie Crisaldi. Caucasian female, age 28, 39, 26, 30, 27, 25. Case number 87-09-1-HA. This autopsy will be conducted at the request of the Adams Police Department. Initial external evaluation reveals resinous black substance adhered to the face, neck, and upper thoracic region. Samples have been obtained. Additionally, the eyes are fully retracted. These observations are aside from any traditional indicators of struggle or violence as a cause of death. Rigor and livor mortis align with the estimated time of death. Of particular note, and the reason for this specialist report, is an unusual finding on the abdomen, specifically below the sternum. A symbol of some sort has been carved into the flesh. Equally concerning is the absence of hemorrhaging in the surrounding tissues. Due in part to this, I have been able to ascertain that this symbol was carved into the skin post-mortem. In regard to timing, based on my analysis, I would say the cuts were likely made several hours after death. Well, photographs and casts have been made for further analysis. I'll be consulting with forensic anthropologists and symbology experts to better understand the nature and potential significance of the symbol. In summary, while the exact cause of death is yet to be determined, it is the carving that requires the initiation of an immediate and in-depth investigation. This aspect of the case should be treated with utmost priority due to its unusual and unnerving nature.
A flashback conversation with Tiffany at 8 years old is present now. Let's listen.
Okay, Tiffany, we're recording now.
Okay.
So, Tiffany, you just had your 6th birthday, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you have a party?
Yeah.
How was it?
Good.
That's good. You're awfully quiet today. Are you seeing them again?
Yes.
Can you see them right now?
Yes.
Where are they? Where are they, Tiffany?
They're everywhere.
Private lock for case file 87-091-HA. my home archives. The date is May 19, 1987. Time is 8:03 p.m. I conducted an examination of Miss Tiffany Crisaldi today. Her body arrived shortly before I was to leave the office for the day, but I decided to at least begin external examinations. Though it seemed misfortune loomed over the proceedings, electrical flickers and inexplicable drops and spikes in room temperature, repairs may be required. I wanted to refrain from mentioning this part whatsoever, but I feel compelled to do so. After placing Miss Crisaldi in storage and moving on to cleaning up, my assistant Sarah mentioned that she'd heard what sounded like a woman crying, coming from the direction of the cooler. I shrugged off her remark and let her leave early, telling her she was likely stressed or overtired, and I continued cleaning up on my own. I didn't dare to tell her that I heard it as well.
Wait, is this the camera from the first tape? What is happening here?
Okay, are you ready, Tiffany?
I think so.
Are you nervous?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll need you to follow my instructions, okay, Tiffany? As long as you do that, everything will be fine. Can you do that for me?
Okay.
Good. I'm going to play some sounds that will help you through this exercise. Good. Now close your eyes and keep them closed until I tell you to open them. I want you to picture yourself standing outside your house in your front yard. It's a beautiful day out with big fluffy clouds and the blue sky. No one else is around. Now look down at the grass around you and watch how each blade moves in the gentle breeze. Now look forward and see your house. And look around and see the trees around your yard. Watch how the breeze affects the leaves as it passes through. Make the wind blow a little harder, enough so the branches are swaying a little bit. You can hear all the rustling of the leaves around you. Wind calms down now, and you begin walking very slowly towards the front door of your house. Step. 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 And with each step you take, it looks like the day's getting later and later. Soon the golden rays of the sunset are shining against your house. The front door is closer now, but you still have some more steps to go. Step. 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 Now you're only 3 steps from the door. Step. The sun vanishes behind the trees, going down. Step. The stars begin twinkling in the sky above, and the moon shines its soft glow over everything around you. Step. You arrive at the front door. Reach out your hand, turn the doorknob, and open the door. Your house looks like it always does at nighttime, except you're the only one here now. You take off your shoes. First the right shoe, then the left shoe. You can feel the floor against your feet. You can smell the familiar aroma of your house. Everything is in its proper place. You are alone. You're going to walk quietly to your bedroom now. You come to the stairs and begin to walk up. You hold on to the banister as you go, letting your hand slide up. Step, 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 step. You reach the second floor hallway. Everything is in its proper place. You are alone. Nobody else is here with you. You look to the right and you can see your bedroom door closed at the end of the hall. And you start walking nice and calmly towards it. You see the door coming closer with each step. You can see the pink flower stickers that you put on it 2 years ago, and the small wooden sign that reads Tiffany with the little blue bird in the corner. Step, 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 step. You're at your bedroom door now. You reach out your hand and grasp the doorknob and turn it. The door opens, and you can see that your room looks just like it did the last you saw it. You see the colorful quilt on your bed. You see your small white dresser with all the stickers and scuff marks, just like always. Your stuffed animals are all resting by your purple toy box. You feel comfortable. You feel safe. You are alone. You walk into a room, and that's when you can see something different that's never been there before. Tell me what you see.
It's a door next to my window.
That's right, it's a door. What does the door look like, Tiffany?
It looks black. It has weird marks on it. The wood looks weird.
Walk to the door and open it.
I'm scared.
It doesn't matter if you're scared. You must open the door. Good job, Tiffany. Now tell me what's on the other side of the door.
It's a small room. Somebody's in there.
No, Tiffany, you're alone.
No. There's someone here. He's facing away from me. He's standing and tall. He's very tall.
Tiffany, you are alone. Nobody else is there. Now tell me what else is in the room.
There's a TV. The screen is all fuzzy, and the tall man is watching it.
Tiffany, I want you to focus on removing the man from your mind. When I snap my fingers, he will be gone. You will be alone.
The man's shaking. His body is cracking.
Okay, Tiffany, I'm going to count down from 5. When I snap my fingers, you will return to the real world. 5. You're feeling more awake.
He's turning around.
4. Everything around you is becoming hazy.
He's looking at me. He sees me.
3. Tiffany, you can feel the chair you're sitting in again. 2. Everything around you fades to the blackness behind you. 1. Full control of your body. 0. You're awake, Tiffany. You will return to reality now.
So Jim finds a tape in the rat, huh? Interesting.
Mr. Melvin, I have some very important information for you pertaining to the events you have been investigating. You must have questions regarding who I am, how I located you, and what reason I am contacting you. I won't be answering any of those questions, but all will be clear in due time. For now, I am simply offering you information. You can take it or leave it. It's impressive you remained alive for this long. But then again, you've gone to great lengths in the past in order to survive, haven't you? I'm going to tell you a story, Jim. A story that you've been dying to hear.
Now, this points to several disturbing possibilities. Firstly, the ritual circle and strange symbol carved into Tiffany's body with her childhood experiences seem to all be connected to some kind of sinister plan. Her early exposure from these experiment sessions could have opened a door that was never meant to be opened. This makes me wonder if her entire life was centered around this first experiment as a child and accessed dangerous parts of the mind that released some type of dark entity that stayed with her. This would potentially explain her ability to think up a thought form, resulting in the loss of her unborn son that was never real to begin with. Though most chilling is how this mysterious figure behind the tape Jim found not only knows Jim but has been watching, waiting for this moment to reveal themselves. From all of this that we have seen so far, it seems Jim is a part of a larger plan than he realizes. As we continue on, I'm wondering if Tiffany's entire life was a carefully crafted experiment, along with if she truly is dead, or if she has become something else, such as this entity that has a part of her taking control. But most of all, who is orchestrating all of this, and what could they possibly want with Jim? Let's move on to our next tape and see what's in store for us. Another WRA TV segment is shown and seems to have our investigator Jim Melgren inside the basement of Tiffany and Alex's home. It seems the person behind the tape screaming is unknown, but if I were to guess, I would say it may be Alex mourning the loss of Tiffany. Let's move on and see what our last tape has in store for us. Our final tape is specifically directed to Jim's daughter and has us in another orientation for Unit 13's experiments being TF2 that lets us experience powerful psychological exercises. Let's take a look and see what we will be doing.
Greetings, and welcome to the second video program in the Preconditional Protocols and Orientation video system for Unit 13, TF2, Waking Your Subconscious. This video cassette has been specially designed to utilize powerful psychological exercises, along with cutting-edge technology, and your own brain's neuroplasticity, to allow Unit 13 to access the deepest energy potential of your incredible mind. This will be required to increase the likelihood of prime-form cognigenesis. Before we begin, let's go over the required checklist to be sure you have everything in order, so that we won't end up with any negative or unexpected outcomes from this program. First on the checklist, ensure that you are alone and will not be disturbed for the entire duration of this program. It's critical that you do not become distracted, as working with the brain in such a way is a very delicate process. Second, turn off all light sources, except for your television or monitor that you are using for this program. This aids tremendously in your brain's ability to focus, but it also can make you feel vulnerable or frightened, which are beneficial to this program achieving the desired results. Ideally, you would wait until nightfall to complete this part of the program. Third, ensure that your volume is turned up to a level where no outside or ambient noise is able to leak through your headset. This too helps with focus, but it also aids in those feelings of fear and vulnerability, which are where our deepest and most complex selves are rooted. Fourth, have your workbook open to the TF2 section and have your writing utensil nearby, as some exercises will require you to write. However, if for any reason you do not have your workbook, simply grab a regular notebook or some sheets of paper and write your name and TF2 at the top of each sheet you use. You will need to hand those into your program liaison, and they will take care of transferring the data from there. Once all of these conditions have been met, you're ready to continue to the next part. Now is the time to make sure that your NeuroVisor headset is correctly equipped and connected. If you need any assistance, or are looking for more information regarding the NeuroVisor, be sure to check the section titled Equipment and Connection in your Unit 13 Program Handbook. This will be your final opportunity to pause playback for the rest of this tape. Pausing after this point will cause a disruption, which could carbonate your fucking skull, interrupt the data being collected by your headset. Your screen is about to gradually turn red. Once it is completely red, the program has officially begun, and the point of no return has been crossed. You have 10 seconds. Photosensitivity warning. Our first section, induction, contains bright flickering. If you have a photosensitivity disorder, it is best that you do not look at your screen. Close or shield your eyes, and just listen. Once the tone in your headset changes, it will be safe to look at your screen again. Induction will begin in 5 seconds. Beginning induction. Please stare at your screen for 30 seconds. Induction complete. This exercise will present you with 5 separate sets of words. Each set will contain 6 words. For each set, you will have 10 seconds to choose the one word out of the 6 that you feel doesn't fit with the others, and write it down in your workbook or on an appropriately labeled piece of paper. If you do not have your workbook, simply write the numbers 1 through 5 vertically on your paper, and place your answers beside each corresponding number. Now, let's begin. Priming complete. This next section is a specialized variation of the Stroop test, which will measure multiple facets of your reaction to congruent and incongruent stimuli, while also examining how you deal with high stress, high anxiety situations. You will be shown a series of faces with emotional expressions, and the word for each emotion written on each face. The word could match the expression, like the word happy on a smiling face, or they might not match, like the word angry appearing on a sad face. You are about to begin the first testing phase of this section. This will be the easiest phase, with each subsequent phase becoming more and more difficult. Look directly at your screen and state your responses out loud. Phase 1 testing begins in 5 seconds.
Well, that was a wild ride, to say the least. It seems now we've cut to Jim's daughter's home, which from the looks of it is a dog adoption center. Let's continue.
Yes, hello, this is Troy with Evervigil Security. Am I speaking with Charlotte Melgren?
Yes. What happened this time?
Miss Melgren, we've detected some unusual activity at Forever Friends Kennels. Our system alerted us that kennel door 1 was open and then closed unexpectedly, followed by a power outage. Is it correct that your primary residence is the first unit at Forever Friends?
Yeah, but okay, so I'm not the one who got the security system. It was my dad. So I don't know if there's some way to fix this or whatever, but you guys have called me in the middle of the night like 5 times in the past couple of weeks, and it's all turned out to be false alarms. Every time.
I'm so sorry about that, ma'am. I can take a look into why that might be happening if you'd like, but first I need to be sure that you're in a safe situation. Are you currently alone?
Yeah, it's just me. But I'm looking out the window right now, and everything seems fine. I mean, the power's out, but it literally goes out all the time over there, so I'm just going to go flip the breaker.
Ms. Melgren, we strongly advise against going outside or into the kennels, especially with the power outage. We can call to have a police officer dispatched, and they can make sure it's safe before you...
Wait, hold on. Is there any way we don't have to do that? I have to be up at 6, and the last time it took them over an hour to get here. For nothing. Please.
Ma'am.
Like I said, this has happened a ton of times, and plus the dogs aren't even barking. If someone was in there, they'd be going crazy by now.
Ma'am, I could get in a lot of trouble if anything happened and I didn't call anyone. It's company policy.
How about this? I'll keep you on the phone while I go, okay? I'll switch to my cordless and everything. If anything happens at all, you can call the police.
Miss Melgren.
I will even grab my flashlight. Please. I have a lot going on tomorrow, and I really just want to get back to sleep.
Just let me at least check tonight's footage to make sure everything looks okay first, all right?
Yeah, of course. Go for it.
Okay, let me see here. I'm getting an error. It's not letting me review it.
Well, I can just head over really quick. Like, real quick.
Well, there's no motion alert in tonight's log, so... okay, just please be quick and safe.
Thank you. Seriously, I'm gonna go throw some clothes on and, grab the cordless, okay?
Yeah, all right. I'll look into the false alarms you mentioned and see if I can figure out what's going on with that.
Okay, be right back. Okay, on the cordless. Got my flashlight. Still there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, heading outside now and then going right across to the kennels, so just hang on another sec.
Okay.
Okay, I'm inside. And yep, the power is definitely out. Okay, I'm just gonna go check on the dogs real quick on my way to the basement. But everything seems fine.
I'm really not sure this is a good idea, Miss Milgren. Listen, something's wrong with the recordings I'm seeing of your home.
What do you mean wrong?
Honestly, I'm not sure exactly what I'm looking at here. It seems like the camera's glitched out or something, but the previous calls you've been getting, they weren't false alarms. Yeah, again, I'm not sure what's going on here, but something's been stalking around your property for a while now. I'm not sure how the previous people who called you didn't notice.
Okay, something like what, an animal or?
No, well, I don't know actually. I just think you should go back to your house, okay? Please.
Okay, yeah, you win. Let me just make sure that the dogs are okay, and I'll head back over. They're just right here.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna try to look over tonight's footage again, just in case it's decided to work.
Okay. Hi, babies. Hi, Mama.
What's wrong?
I don't know. You okay, buddy?
Charlotte? What's going on?
The dogs aren't moving. They're all just standing here.
Well, it's late, so maybe they're just tired or something. But let's just get you back.
That's not it, but they're just standing here, not moving. Like, at all. Like, not even their eyes. It's like... Oh my God, it's like they're fucking dead, but they're not.
What the fuck?
What?
Miss Melgren, you need to get out of there and return to your house immediately. I'm sending your information to the police right now.
What's going on?
Get the hell out of the kennel!
Okay,
now!
Fuck, I'm leaving!
What was that? Are you okay? Charlotte, are you okay?
It ripped my flashlight.
Charlotte?
It ripped my flashlight and gone. It's gone. It's gone. Something ripped it out of my hand. I can't see anything. Please fucking help me, please. Something's in here. Wait.
Okay, Charlotte, I've sent your information to the North Adams PD, okay? They responded that an officer will be there in 3 minutes. Do you think you can find your way out? Charlotte, listen, you need to try your best to be calm and just listen to me, okay? Can you find your way out?
I'm trying. Where's the fucking door? This doesn't make any sense. The door's fucking gone.
Charlotte, you're gonna be okay. Just listen to me right now. Feel along the wall until you get to a door or a window, okay? Okay. Do it right now, nice and quick, all right?
Please, Jesus. Please, oh God, please. This doesn't make any sense. It's like a totally different fucking building. It just keeps going. There's no windows. There's no doors. This isn't fucking possible.
Just keep going. Stay focused. There must be something.
I'm trying.
You need to keep feeling your way out, Charlotte. Don't let anything distract you. Great job, Charlotte.
Okay, I'm out and the door's locked.
Okay, very good, Charlotte. You're doing great. I need you to tell me what room you're in so I can inform the officer. Are you able to see now, even just a little?
Yeah, I can't see anything, no. It makes no sense. Nothing is making sense. I have no clue where I am. It's so dark. I can't tell if it's really this dark or if I'm blind.
Breathe, Charlotte. Breathe. You need to try and stay as calm as you possibly can. Listen, if it's that dark, whatever's in there probably can't see you either, okay? So it's important that we stay very quiet until the police arrive. Very quiet.
Okay.
Okay, good. Stay right where you are. Keep your back against the wall. All right, the officer's just down the road right now. You're going to be okay. Now listen, I'm going to stop talking so we can be completely quiet. But no, I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere until you're safe.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I should have listened to you.
It's all okay. We're going to get you out of there. Now, no more talking.
Oh my God.
I think my skin is moving.
What's going on? Charlotte! Charlotte! What's going on? Charlotte! 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 Charlotte!
And an important test. This test is made up of 5 statements. You will check true or false beside the corresponding number for each statement in your workbook. If you do not have your workbook, simply write 1 through 5 vertically on a piece of paper and write T or F beside each number. You will have 5 seconds to respond to each statement. Your test begins now. Statement number 1. This video system is physically changing your brain. This video system leverages the principles of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. Through these specific audio-visual stimuli and cognitive exercises, it's influencing specific neural pathways in your brain, thereby physically altering the structure and function of your brain in response to this experience. Statement number 2. Only a very small percentage of people will never betray their moral values, no matter the situation. Under the right circumstances, such as intense peer pressure, survival situations, or psychological manipulation, it's proven that anyone can be made to betray even the strongest attachments to moral values. Statement number 3. Through your conscious mind, you make your own decisions. A large portion of human decision-making occurs at an unconscious level. The conscious mind rationalizes these decisions after the fact, making the person believe they made a deliberate choice. Choice is an illusion. Statement number 4. We all have immoral thoughts and desires, but it's critical to focus our energy on the positive aspects of ourselves, so that we can be better people. The darkest aspects of your mind are part of a larger psychological entity that resides deep within your unconscious. This shadow entity cannot be reasoned with. It cannot be ignored. You cannot subdue it, lock it away, or eliminate it. Even attempting any such thing has the opposite effect, only making it stronger, darker, and more dangerous. Statement number 5. Opening the door to your shadow psyche and embracing your darkest urges as a part of yourself is the only way to live a fulfilling life. Testing complete. you are about to experience has been carefully constructed in combination with previous exercises to create a connection point between your conscious and unconscious mind. This is our final section of this tape. Please watch and listen very closely. Do not look away or shield your eyes for any reason. Please remember, your fear and vulnerability are essential components to this process. Activation of the subliminal bridge will begin in 5 seconds.
Activation complete.
All units clear. No sign of Miss Melgren. Kennels are empty too. Puppy said she had dogs here. Okay, well,
Proceeding to the basement. North Adams Police. Anybody down here? Jesus, it's dark in here. The fuck was that?
Well done on completing the TF2, Waking Your Subconscious, video cassette. Please allow your brain to rest for at least 12 hours before continuing this video system. Once you have rested and you are ready, enter the cassette labeled TF3, The Shadow, Communion and Assimilation. This is the end of this.
I just need to say it. Tape 12 goes so hard, it gives me chills every time. Now, I believe the targeting of Charlotte Melgren wasn't random. This entire series of events, from the strange experiments to the thought-form encounters, appears to have been leading to this moment. But why? The breakdown of consciousness through the 5 sections suggests whoever created this system wanted more than just revenge. They wanted to fundamentally alter human consciousness itself. Most disturbing is how the tape breaks down our assumptions about consciousness, morality, and free will before revealing its true horror. The fusion of Charlotte with the dogs in the facility's basement represents not just a physical transformation, but perhaps the ultimate expression of what the TF system was designed to achieve. A complete breakdown of the barriers between conscious and unconscious, human and animal, physical and psychological. With all that we've seen so far, let's try and break everything down in the correct timeline, but also note, this series is still ongoing and we are awaiting the next tape. Now, let's do this. We begin in 1883 with the founding of Semiodyne USA, but the experiments wouldn't surface until decades later. In 1958, Tiffany was born to become one of their first test subjects. By 1964, her doctor's visits were already documenting the entity she had been claiming to see. On December 8, 1963, Semiodyne's president P. Rothwell delivered his pivotal speech about the NAI program and the critical importance of this technology. Just 5 days later, Segment 101 would broadcast details of this program, which would ultimately receive approval from President Lyndon B. Johnson in late 1966. 4 years after, Semiodyne continued their experiments on citizens. The situation got worse on October 4th, 1981, when Dr. Bernard Hayes gave his famous speech about reaching God as an equal. Between 1984 and 1987, we see evidence of their activities in photographs of the Morelli construction crew members, but it was in March 1987 when everything began to get insane. From March 24th to 29th, we have recordings of Paul's increasingly desperate calls to Frank about the strange occurrences around the mountain and the effects on his crew. That same night, the first wave of home invasions struck across the county. On March 30th, Paul sent his final messages to project director Frank, and by the 31st, the situation had become so horrible that the state police initiated the EBS announcement about the attacks. That same day, Tiffany lost her son. Early April, new photographs revealed the now malformed construction crew members. By April 8th, Arnold made his final recording, documenting what he knew before falling victim to a thought form. Roughly 2 weeks after the March incidents, the Dawn Wright Tonight Show attempted to assure residents of their safety, only for the station to be hijacked by something claiming Dawn and the news team were liars. Dawn would later return home, where he laid to rest. Ascending higher on May 18th when Tiffany was killed, followed by Alex's desperate voicemails throughout the day. Hours after her death, a mysterious symbol was carved into her skin. The next day, Dr. H. Albrecht recorded his clinical report. His private log that night revealed the sound of Tiffany crying within the morgue cooler. In October 1990, a message appeared being an anti-semiodyne note stating to not be their lab experiment anymore. By 1993, we have evidence of their continued experiments in the dated thought form instructional tapes TF1 and TF2. The final tragedy came in December 1994 when Katie fell victim to her own created thought form, which had somehow followed her home from the facility. I'm hoping I got those all right. If not, feel free to correct me within the comments, as this project was massive to compile together. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait for the next tape to be released. If anyone has any other stories you would like me to cover, feel free to let me know, as I love putting these together and letting my creativity flow. Thank you for watching, and good night.